We've mapped Mars more completely than our own ocean floor. 95% of the ocean is still unexplored. And in the sliver scientists have managed to reach, here's what they found, and still can't explain. Number 6. The ocean turns glowing white sailors have been writing about it in their ship logs for over 400 years, and for most of that time, scientists assumed they were making it up. A phenomenon called a Milky Sea causes stretches of ocean to glow a steady, luminous white. Not in patches, not in flashes, but uniformly, all the way to the horizon in every direction. In 1849, the captain of a ship called Musafir sailed through the Arabian Sea and recorded that the water looked like a boundless plain of snow or a sea of quicksilver. His description has been repeated by dozens of witnesses since, all using almost identical language. In 2005, NASA satellites finally captured one, a glowing patch south of Java, Indonesia, stretching over 15,400 square kilometers. A 2019 event covered more than 100,000 square kilometers, bigger than Iceland. Scientists believe the glow is produced by a type of luminous bacteria reaching a critical population density and switching on simultaneously, a process called quorum sensing. But here's the problem. Only one research vessel has ever directly sampled a Milky Sea while it was happening in 1985. As of 2025, there are fewer than 400 confirmed sightings across 4 centuries. We still cannot predict them reliably, still cannot explain their full scale, and still cannot fully understand why they happen where they do. Number 5. There is a whale out there, singing in a frequency no other whale uses. In 1989, a Cold War U.S. Navy sonar system designed to track Soviet submarines picked up something unexpected in the Pacific Ocean, a low repeating call. Navy technician Joe George passed it to marine bioacoustics expert William Watkins at the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, who identified it as a whale. One problem, the call came in at 52 hertz. Every other known whale species communicates at frequencies between 10 and 39 hertz. Blue whales are around 16 to 28. This whale sings more than an octave above anyone else. Watkins tracked it for 12 years. The creature traveled an average of 47 kilometers every single day, covered over 11,000 kilometers in some seasons, and almost never appeared to spend time with other whales. Scientists are genuinely torn on what it is. The leading theory is a hybrid between a blue and a fin whale. Such crossbreeds exist. Others have suggested it's deformed or that it has a physical condition that altered its call. The cruelest detail is this. Other whales can technically hear 52 hertz. They just don't respond. Whether this creature has genuinely spent its entire life being heard but not understood, or whether something else entirely is going on, nobody knows. The documentary team that searched for it in 2021 finally detected the call again, off the coast of Los Angeles. Number 4. There's an enormous step structure under the ocean off Japan. In 1986, a group of divers off the coast of Yonaguni Island in Japan went looking for hammerhead sharks. What they found instead was a colossal underwater formation. Flat platforms, sharp right angles, what appeared to be steps, carved faces, post holes, and something that from above looks remarkably like a pyramid. The structure measures roughly 150 meters long, 40 meters wide, and stands 27 meters tall, sitting 25 meters below the surface. Marine geologist Masaki Kimura from the University of the Ryukyus has spent over 2 decades diving it and is convinced it was built by human hands, at a time when sea levels were lower and this land was above water, roughly 8,000 to 10,000 years ago. He claims to have identified quarry marks, animal carvings, and characters resembling an ancient regional script. On the other side, Boston University's Robert Schoch, who has also dived the site repeatedly, is equally convinced it is entirely natural, arguing that the region's sandstone fractures cleanly along fault lines, producing the geometric shapes without any human involvement. Both scientists have studied it in person. Both are certain, neither has convinced the other. The Japanese government's Agency for Cultural Affairs has declined to classify it as a cultural heritage site, meaning it has no official protection. What you're looking at when you see those photographs is genuinely unknown. Number 3. NOAA recorded a sound so loud it was heard across 5,000 kilometers of ocean. In 1997, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's hydrophone arrays, networks of underwater microphones originally built to detect Soviet submarines, picked up something in the South Pacific that their operators had never heard before. The sound was low, rising in pitch over roughly a minute, and so loud that sensors positioned 5,000 kilometers apart chart all registered it simultaneously. NOAA called it the bloop. It had one characteristic that immediately unsettled marine biologists. The rising pitch profile looked biological. It looked like something alive, something that, to produce that volume at that frequency, would have to be significantly larger than any known animal on Earth. The internet, predictably, lost its mind. For over a decade, no definitive answer existed. The resolution came gradually between 2005 and 2012, as NOAA added hydrophone arrays closer to Antarctica and began cross-referencing recordings. What they found was that large-scale fracturing of Antarctic icebergs, icequakes, produced sound signatures that matched the bloop almost exactly. In 2012, oceanographer Robert Ziak's team confirmed it officially: a massive glacial collapse west of southern Chile. The reason it took so long is that the scale of the sound was unprecedented even for an icequake, and at the time no one had mapped this category of event at this magnitude before. It was real. It was enormous. It was ice. But the 15 years of not knowing what it was tells you something important about how little we understand the sounds the ocean makes. Number 2, a 60-meter disc-shaped object was found on the Baltic seafloor in June 2011. Swedish treasure hunters Peter Lindberg and Dennis Osberg were scanning the Gulf of Bothnia between Sweden and Finland with side-scan sonar, hunting for old shipwrecks. The image that came back stopped them cold. Sitting on the seafloor at 90 meters depth was a circular formation roughly 60 meters across, about the width of a Boeing 747's wingspan, with what appeared to be a raised rim, a flattened top, and geometric features that didn't match anything natural in the area. The sonar image was blurry enough to generate immediate comparisons to the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars. When the team returned to dive the site in 2012, two things happened that don't have good explanations. First, divers reported that their electronic equipment, cameras, satellite phones, cut out whenever they were within about 200 meters of the object and came back on once they moved away. Second, rock samples collected near the structure included black material that associate Professor of Geology Volker Bruckert at Stockholm University identified as common regional materials including basalt, granite, and sandstone, consistent with glacial deposit. The majority scientific opinion is that it's a glacial erratic, a natural formation shaped by ice during the last ice age. But as of today, no core samples have ever been taken directly from the main structure. The electromagnetic interference has not been replicated or explained, and the Society for UAP Studies has a new expedition planned to conduct high-resolution mapping. The case is technically still open. Number 1, scientists found a 745-mile-long whale graveyard at the bottom of the ocean. In 2023, a Chinese research submersible called Fenduje was conducting geology surveys in the Diamantina Zone, a deep-sea rift in the southeastern Indian Ocean, formed when Australia and Antarctica tore apart roughly 50 million years ago. The scientists aboard weren't looking for whales. Then, at nearly 23,000 feet below the surface, they spotted the first fossil. Over 32 dives, they mapped what turned out to be the largest, deepest, and oldest whale fall ecosystem ever recorded on Earth. A graveyard stretching across 1,200 kilometers of ocean floor, containing 476 fossil sites and 5 active decomposing whale carcasses, all at depths previously thought impossible for this kind of ecosystem. The oldest fossils date back at least 5.3 million years, and sitting among them was a skull belonging to a species of beaked whale that no one had ever described before. A completely new extinct whale, now named Pterocetus diamantini. The discovery was published in Nature in June 2026. Here's what makes this genuinely strange. Around the active whale carcasses, scientists found entire communities of creatures adapted specifically to feeding on dead whale bones, including brittle star species never recorded anywhere else, and a sea daisy genus previously found only near hydrothermal vents. Nobody knew any of this was there. The Hadal zone, below 6,000 meters, was supposed to be too extreme to support this kind of ecosystem. Instead, it's been running one continuously for over 5 million years. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.